Mariah May's heel turn on Toni Storm. So, while Brian Adams, for God's sake, he's not around anymore. Brian Danielson defeated Adam Page in the finals of the men's, in the men's finals. Mariah May won the women's version of the Owen Hart tournament. And don't get me started that there's two tournaments called the same thing, men's and women's running concurrently. What? So stupid in the name of equality. Anyway, she followed her win with an attack on timeless Toni Storm, as well as Luther and Don Stevens as well. So you watched this big old thing happen, and this actually closed the show out as well. So I thought that was a good positioning on the card. But yeah, timeless Toni Storm and Mariah May, an official heel turn there for you. What did you think?
Well, it wasn't awful. I don't think it's going to draw anything. I really don't. But it was unique. It was. Because Toni Storm and Mariah May was in, let's set the context here. Mariah May was in a match with Willow Nightingale.
Yep.
And they had a pretty good match. That Willow Nightingale, I like her. I mean, and they had and that Mariah May, blind-headed little thing, she looks a lot like Toni Storm, basically. They look alike. They look like sisters, almost. But Toni Storm was out there cheering her on. And then it finally came, and Mariah May finally beat Willow Nightingale. And Willow Nightingale get over there and give her a good match. And then they got together going up the ramp, Mariah May and Toni Storm, and two blonde-headed young ladies going up to the top. Got up to the top, and they were both baby faces, I'm assuming. And then that Mariah May, that no good hussy, turned on Toni Storm and beat the crap out of her and turned heel and got her bleeding, got juice on her, as we say in the business. But I've seen something that, well, I've probably seen it before, but she pulled off the heel of her. Where did she get a high heel, a lady's high heel shoe?
Oh, it would have been Tony's. Yeah, it would have been
Toni.
Yeah.
And she pulled it off, and she started hitting her in the head with it. First time I've ever saw anybody, especially a lady, turn heel by using a high heel slipper. And that brings into something else. Toni Storm was bleeding like a stuck pig. I mean, she had a lot of blood. And I'm trying to sort. I don't like women with blood. I just don't. I don't like the excessive use of it either, even on men, because I think the story should take precedence over the blood, but there was no need for the blood in this. But it did. All I can say is I watched it with no thoughts at all. It was actually pretty good for what it was intended to be, which is to turn her heel. But one thing about women getting bleeding, most women don't want to do that. And I don't blame them, because, their face is their most important attribute. And they don't want to mess their face up. I don't blame them. Look here, guys. You see Benny up there? You don't see a lot, do you?
Mm-hmm.
You know why?
Because you wouldn't do it.
I was checking shit. I wouldn't do it. See, I would take it, and I had the blade here, and I'd go, it's trying to get closer, and I push it back down. It was, I don't understand it. I really don't. Well, so we've talked about Toni, some of the things that we don't understand. Marco's stunt and this, and Humagod, what's the guy's name? Aramis?
Aramis, yeah. I already forgot his name.
I don't know. And I think, he's doing it to amuse himself. but I don't think it's going to amuse many other people.
Do you know what? Right, let me ask you this. I genuinely thought you would like it more than you said you would. I thought it was, like a Memphis style, old kind of thing, attack, blood, something to go off TV
Oh,
with.
I like blood, just not on me.
No, but is
And I don't-
it
and I
purely
don't
like a
like it.
distasteful thing for you then? You just women bleeding specifically, just
No, it is. I just don't like it. I never have. I don't think people pay money to see a woman bleed. I just don't, because women, I'm old school. Women are your mothers. Women are your tender things, not your, Abdullah the butchers and all that. So what you expect. But seeing that, and especially in kids, I don't think the kids want to see it. So a parent with his kid seeing her do that, I think that's a big turnoff. And I think they lose more fans than they will gain by that. My opinion. So, but we wouldn't even be talking about this had not Tony Khan in the secrecy of his living room or bedroom or wherever he's going through all this stuff. And I'm gonna have her cut herself. I just don't get it.
so.
Hey, there's more things in wrestling now that I don't get than what I do get, especially watching Tony's show.
Well, speaking of, the other Tony anyway. So I guess this means Toni Storm is now an official babyface, if she wasn't already, because she was always popular with the contingent with the crowd because of the character. But
okay, so tell me, let's context the match. Willow Nightingale was a heel or a babyface?
No, Willow's a babyface. So I don't know if Mariah May was also a babyface or a heel or what at this point. Who knows? I think she was a heel recently. So anyway, the point is that how do you make Toni Storm a babyface in the sense of she was
already a babyface?
Well, yeah, I know she was, but she wasn't. But she was in that sense. She was an entertaining heel that ended up just naturally becoming a babyface. But then, if you're going to be a straight babyface, one of the main tenets of her character is that she's got no self-awareness and that she's like a pastiche of these starlets from 100 years ago. So does she have to modify her character in any way to become a true babyface in that sense?
Yeah, I heard that question, but I didn't hear that question.
Does she have to change a character? Does she have to change a character to update it to a babyface or more traditional babyface than she was before?
I love the Toni Storm character. I really do. But I think she was a babyface just by virtue of her personality and her persona. And the people, there was nothing to boo about her anyway. She's lost in time. So what are you going to boo? It's just something, and I think the people liked her anyway, and she was entertaining as hell. And I don't know. I don't even know what to do with Toni Storm or that other girl now. If you told me to book that match, I wouldn't know what to do with it at all. And I think whatever you do end up doing, it's not going to do anything. I don't think when they get in the ring again, what do you think their reception is going to be?
I think with the contingent, it'll do quite well.
That's where we disagree. I think the people are going to. Yeah. I think it could be Wembley, but they can't be putting them together all these matches up till Wembley, because then you take away from it. If you put them even in Wembley, I think the people are just going to sit there.
Okay. We will see then. That's
what I think. Okay, what is to get excited about?
I suppose
do you hate
revenge.
Maria May? Okay. Do you hate Mariah May?
No.
Are you more perplexed why she even did it?
Probably that, because there was a thing a couple of weeks ago where there was
perplexed. What is a perplexed reaction? But not, you son of a...
Is it right? Okay. Is it because the intention or the motivations are unclear?
That means no reaction. You're still trying to figure it out. That's what I think. That's the reception they're going to get. If going on right now, without doing anything else, I think the reaction would be silence. Well, I do want to revise it because I just found out both women are from England. And I said if they had a match now without any more further adding to the story, they would get silence. That's what I meant to say. I may not have said that. But I think when they kind of do a little more and explain why she did it, yeah, they may get a little more than that. They may have a legitimate heel and a legitimate baby face. And of course, I think they will go with Toni Storm. I think Toni Storm fits the babyface role more than Mariah May does. But I did say silence, and we'll have to see what they do going forward, which I don't watch, and that's going to be your job to see how they trim it up and add to it or take away from it.